me what I want.
So I want to get into the history of baked mac and cheese. See, President Thomas Jefferson was the first to cook and introduce mac and cheese to the US.
That's a lie! That's a lie!
I'm joking. But for a long time, a lot of people believed that to be true. Thankfully to historians and well-made documentaries like High on the Hog on Netflix, the truth has been brought to the surface. At the time, President Jefferson took interest in the work ethic of one of his slaves, James Hemings. Jefferson felt that Hemings would make a good chef to prepare the meals for the Jefferson residents. He took Hemings to France to be classically trained in French cuisine. Hemings took his style of French cooking and incorporated it into the dishes that he prepared at the Jefferson's residence. A tool that Hemings used to prepare these dishes was the stew stove, which he brought back from France. The stew stove would later become a major contribution to cooking in the US as it introduced the indirect heating technique to it. Hemings would use the stew stove to prepare and perfect what they called at the time the macaroni pie, or what we call today baked mac and cheese. At the time, the hearth is where a vast majority of cooking would take place. Hemings would prepare the macaroni pie by adding half milk, half hot water into the stew pot, where he would then cook the noodles until they were tender. He would then drain the noodles and add them to a baking dish, followed by a layer of butter, followed by a layer of cheese. The process would then be repeated with another layer of all the same ingredients. The baking dish was then placed into a Dutch oven on top of hot bricks. The Dutch oven was then topped with hot coals so that everything could bake evenly. This recipe and technique has been around for over 200 years. Mac and cheese is one of the many iconic dishes that stems from slavery in North America. One of James Hemings' relatives was featured in the mac and cheese episode of High on the Hog on Netflix. I would say it's about damn time someone cut them a check for the cheesy, bubbly, baked pasta that so many of us love to this day. Mac and cheese has been in my family since I could remember. My cousin April is known for baking some of the best mac and cheese I've ever had. And just to think that if we didn't have James Hemings, who introduced this dish to the US, we would not have it. How sad would that be? I mean, we look forward to it on Thanksgiving and Christmas and most holidays in my family. It is a staple at the African American dinner table. I feel like there needs to be some sort of law in place where these black creators are being paid for their inventions. If you learned anything from this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.